All right, what's going on, my notary and life scan family? We're back. Today, I'm going to show you how to roll fingerprints on the scanner here. I know my other video, I titled it to roll fingerprints, but those were flats. This time, we're going to do flats and rolls. I'm going to show you what that looks like. And most of the time, I do not need to roll. You can roll every time, just because it'll increase the odds of the fingerprints not being rejected because you're taking the flats and you're rolling the whole finger. So you can roll every time. It'll just take you a few more minutes to do each person. But generally when I have to roll, it's because the prints don't come out as clear. And most of the time that's because of age or the type of job you have, like teachers, people that work with their hands a lot, mechanics, or people that wash their hands a lot, maybe like nurses, doctors, cooks, always working with their hands. So if you garden, your fingertips, after a while, it wears, so it makes it hard to read. So that's why I have to roll. Most of the time I don't. 99% of the time I do not have to roll. 1% of the time I do roll. So we're gonna work on. I'm gonna show you how that works. I'm gonna show you how that works. All right, here we go. Oh, real quick. Um, Rejection, fingerprint rejections. So I've been doing fingerprints a few years now, done a whole lot, and I've only had a handful get rejected. And it's not because I'm the best fingerprinter out there. You just put your prints on the machine. If they look good, they give you a green box, they give you a yellow box, a red box. You can tell if they look good or not. You send them in. So it's not that hard to do prints. But the reason I don't get too many rejections is because most of the people I do are under 40 or 35. Most of the people I do are in 20 to 40 range. So generally prints, when you're in that age range, they come out pretty good, and um, they don't get too many rejections because their fingerprints are easy to read. And the way rejections work is the DOJ will send the person that got their fingerprints a letter and say, hey, your fingerprints were rejected. Go back to the person that did your live scan and get them redone. So that's how it works. And that only happened to me a few times. Now, either I've only had a few rejections or people just don't come back. But I haven't got any calls from the DOJ or the live scan company. So we're doing all right. But anyway, we're going to roll prints. Here we go. All right, so here we are on the home screen. This is the first screen. I know it's hard to see, but we don't need to worry about this today. This is just where you take the information, you type in the ORI number, and it'll bring up what it's for. You type in what it's for, and everything else will be populated. Unless you need contact and info, you can type that in. And you'll get your ATI number here on the top, minus their initials will go in the middle. But we're in practice mode, so you can practice, simulate the prints. And here is second screen is where you get the ID information. You can swipe it, but I'll just put anything in here just to fill the blanks so we can go to the next screen. And birthday will be 01/001/2001. Done. And gender, female, male, unknown. Address and everything else will leave blanks. Social, driver's license, miscellaneous. You can, for miscellaneous, it could be passport. There's different options if they don't have a driver's license. Next screen will be the OCA number, and normally OCA, depending on what it's for, they'll have that pre-filled on the document already. DOJ, FBI. And here's on the next screen, we'll give you your ATI number, government fees, your rolling fee, which you can change to 60 to 20, whatever your rolling fee is, depending on what it's for. Travel, or if you're doing a group, you may not want to charge the same rolling fee you would for one person. But anyway, that's that screen. So let me switch it. Oh no, it's already set. So on this screen here, you can pick if there's, like, let's say they are missing a finger or they have a cut on their left thumb here. Let's see, I can pick amputated, bandaged, deformed, missing at birth, scarred, tip amputated, best possible prints. So if you have any of those options on them, you ask beforehand, hey, do you have any cuts or anything on your hand? Sometimes I did a print for somebody, he had a stroke, I think. Yeah, one hand was closed, so we just had to block out every finger, so we only did one hand. But anyway, that's that. So finish annotating. Scan. Practice only. So in this one, we have to do flats and rolls. So we'll just do flats. So we got the right thumb, and you just make your right thumb and drop it down. Boom, we got the print. Left thumb, and it flashes to tell you which one you need to do. We got it. Next flashing, see place, right, 4 flat fingers. So right fingers, 4 flat. I tell them right hand, 4 fingers together, drop it down. Boom, there we go. See, my prints aren't coming up too clear. I don't know if you can see, but no worries. They're coming up okay, not too good. Left 4 flat, and it tells you it's flashing, so you can't mess up. 4 flat. Only way to mess up is if you don't pay attention. And you want to pay attention because you don't want to get rejected for doing the wrong fingers. All right, so now is the roll. See, roll right thumb. So the way I tell people to roll, I don't hold their hand. You can hold their hand if you want to. That's okay. I just don't because we're adults. We can know how to roll and how to use my fingers. I've been digging in my nose long enough. So the way to do that, I tell people put your thumb, drop your finger down in the middle. You roll to one side and roll it back to the other side. So you'll hear it beep 2 times. Once I drop it down, roll, first beep, roll, second beep, we're good. And it'll make a square shape. And check that middle swirls. It looks good. And it's green, so we're good to go. Next, we just do the same thing. Drop it down in the middle, roll to one side, roll it back, and lift. Bam. It's hard to do this with the camera. All right, so next we got the middle finger, and it's flashing, so can't mess up. And it's easier if you make a fist, kind of, and only pull out the only finger that you're using. Just ring finger is hard because the way our body shape is hard to just pull out that middle finger. So that's the only one that's hard. So we got the ring, drop it down in the middle, roll it to one side, bring it back, lift. So like I said, you can hold someone's hand. It may be easier if you do hold their hand because sometimes people might be nervous taking prints or they're just not used to doing this motion. They keep their body super stiff because when you turn your body like that, you got to turn your shoulders with it when you roll your finger, especially if you're not flexible. So you can hold their hand if you need to. I have done it a couple times where I had to hold somebody's hand. So right thumb, roll one side, and you hear the second beat, bap, bap. Come all the way across. You want to get all the way left, all the way right. The lines look good. The finger stays green. Now we're on to the next one. Drop it down, roll, roll, and lift. Bam. Drop it down, roll, roll, and lift. See, this one came out better. The lines is a little bit darker, a little easier to read. And roll, roll, and oh, that's beautiful. I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but that one does look good. The pinky is always the hardest to get good prints on for everybody. Because the pinky is the smallest finger, it's not as much strength, so it's hard to get a good firm press. So sometimes what I do when I'm doing flats or rolls, you may have to have somebody hold their hand and or have them push on the pinky nail at the same time to give it a little more pressure and roll at the same time. Or if they're doing flats, I just tell them hold the pinky and press down. That's it. Just push on the nail, not the finger, because then you need the tip. So they push on the nail. All right. Next, we did it. Everything is green, and that's it. So you can double check the print. So these, I would do my left hand over. Look at this. So it didn't really get the bottom. It still came out green, but this is what I'm talking about. This is why you want to check your prints. It did come out green, but the bottom part, the bottom of the finger tip is a little light and difficult to read versus this one next to it. Still the same thing, but it got more of the finger. Look, my pinky came out the best. It got it all, the whole lines. The lines aren't blurred. You can read the whole tip. So that came out the best. I'm surprised. Normally the pinky is hard. Maybe I got a strong pinky. Oh, hold on. Take somebody at the door. Okay, I'm back. What was I gonna say? Alright, so yeah, I would do the left hand over. Yeah, you can tell from there. You can see the top, but the bottom of it doesn't. Can't see much. This one's okay. Pinky, let's check the other hand. Same thing, my pinky's good. But anyway, this is the example of, if you see, the machine says all green, so technically it's good to go, but I don't want rejections. I don't like rejections. So you can see my index, my ring finger came out pretty good. You can read all the lines. Nothing smeared. The pinky is the best. Surprisingly, I don't know how that's possible. Strong pinky, man. But my index, well, it's terrible. So I would do this over, even though it came out green. I would do it over. Maybe add some lotion, Cornus lotion, or just put a little more pressure, or put the other hand on top and push on the nail. You can do that if you don't want to use the lotion. Sometimes that'll work good if they don't need too much. But I would definitely do that one over. But anyway, this is how you roll fingerprints. See it come out in a square. It's perfect right here. And you can read all the prints, all the lines. Nothing smeared. Everything looks good. So that's how you roll fingerprints, people. All right, then you will just submit. Yes. Collect your money before you submit. I've never had no issues with payments though. But it's always a good idea to collect your money before you start rolling the prints, to make sure they can pay for it. Because if their card is declined or they don't have the money and you submit, then that comes out of your pocket. All right. You got it. Now go roll some fingerprints, ladies and gentlemen.